These jungle chickens are eating my pig feed. I know this isn't the most interesting thing for some people, but I love how sheep maintain my fence line. Look at all these little saplings. Sorry, I have corn on. I was feeding the pigs. Look at all these little saplings. They're stripped clean, so I can have a clear view of my fence line, and they're helping me keep it pulled together. Taking a moment this evening, now that it's cooled down, to just kind of walk through the last field we grazed and see how we're doing. On the first hand, you can see we still have square tips, so the grass needs a little bit of time, but if you look, the alfalfa is already coming back around, and it's in a, oh, it's about as long as my hand already. But we're gonna get to graze this again one more time, maybe twice more, before winter really kicks us off the land. We graze this really tight, hard to the ground, and you can see we went up this way and then we came back down this way, and you can see the graze line where the ground over here has had much less time to recover, but it's looking good. Deeply encouraged. We're gonna probably have decent growth for maybe another 2 or 3 weeks, and then it'll really shut down hard. So this is a example of where we just recently grazed, not a couple of days ago. You can see we're down to the thatch, and it's quite short. Right? Maybe they got it down to about 4 or 5 inches. Little too short, but we got clover coming up in some of the bare patches, which is nice, and you can see where they got put into today. Plenty of grass. We're about halfway through our grazing cycle on this farm, so our starting point has maybe another 3 weeks, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, give or take, before we're back there. So I think we'll be able to make the full rotation twice more, and then we'll clean up stockpile and then be done. You can see the state of my sheep, and I'm just very, very pleased. You know, we're kind of, I'd say most of the lambs are weaned off at this point, and so I'm just eyeballing condition, and it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy about it. Like this one right here, you can see she's filled in and fleshing out. She's ready to give me another lamb. Same with these. One of the things that I'm pleased, grateful that I did, was I really got rid of stuff that wouldn't slick off. We want really clean sheep like this that can grow a top bill coat, and you see they're stocky, and they just look right when you look at them. They look straight and healthy, and they don't have any extra junk laying off them. They got clean bottoms. It's just about perfect. And then I have some runts in here. Like this is a weather ram right here, and he's junk. We'll just flesh him out till this is kind of junk, but he doesn't have his nuts, and he's going to the butcher. He just doesn't look like he has the same kind of vitality that some of my other lambs have. But look at this. This is a 2-year-old ewe. Isn't she a chunk of meat? This is what you want to see expressed forward. If I had 100 like her, I couldn't ask for more, honestly. Really nice. And you can see on some of the girls, like, their bags are starting to tighten back up, which kind of tells me they've been weaned. And like this is a good example. This is an older ewe, I believe, and her bag's just sitting there, just getting fat. Let's find a good example of a really top bill lamb that we'll keep. Well, 52 here is really nice. That's a wether, so that's something that I castrated because that didn't fit the bill for me either, even though he looks pretty decent. And then this is like an ideal lamb. This is a ewe lamb right here. So she was born, what number is that? 42. So this is this is probably the first or second ewe lamb I had born beginning of May. She's already about the same, just a little shy of her mother size. Really good. That's what we're looking for, is that those kind of expressed genetics. And there are others that are so-so, like this one's okay. But she's a ewe, and we'll keep her for now. You know, it's hard to tell what she really looks like underneath her coat of burrs, but you know, what are you gonna do? And this is a nice looking wether here too. So, you know, there are some where maybe I should have, you know, I could have kept something like that to be a ram, but I am erring on the side of caution when it comes to, I'm really being choosier than maybe I need to be, but I'd rather do that. This is one I bought in at the end of the summer. I just like the look of her. And I got her really cheap, same as that one, the brown one in the back, because they were really thin, but I suspected it was just management, and it turned out to be right. I mean, they look really nice. Yeah, so this is the flock we're going in with. We should be expecting about 75 or 80 ewes, and then the rams, which I think is a fine ratio. And then next year we're actually going to have some ewes for sale, and we'll have some rams for sale too. As I'm going to close up the herd or the flock, forgive me, and we won't need everything for our own growth. Not bad. $125 is my favorite. He's just such a beast. Hard to believe he was born at the end of May. And my second favorite is probably the guy with the purple tag, George Heller Ram. And then this guy, he's pretty nice. And this brown one's my questionable one. I bought him off of a local farm, and you can just see he's thinner. Even though he's older, he's thinner, and he's just makes me wonder what I ought to do with him. I might send him down the way. We'll see. Spending some time with one of the old guard dogs. She's super nervous, you can see. She doesn't like this at all, but I've had her for years and she's always been like this. I don't know if somebody whooped on her or what before I got her, but she's not worth much. If I could just somehow calm her down, she could do a good job though.